Another AUC video, another AUC sweater. Hi, my name is Jael. I'm a 21-year-old student educational sciences in the Netherlands and an AUC alumni, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I thought I would read my Amsterdam University College motivation letter, or study plan, self-assessment as they call it, because based on my last video about Amsterdam University College, I got a lot of requests from people that wanted to read my motivation letter for some inspiration or some guidance, and I thought instead of having to send everyone the link separately, I could also just make it into a YouTube video. So I got my iPad here, I have the letter on my Google Drive, and I will just be reading it out to you and giving some comments or tips whenever I feel like it. So I wrote this letter almost 4 years ago when I was applying to AUC. I have read it recently just to check if it didn't contain any super personal information that I didn't want to share with others when I shared my motivation letter with some of you to help you out with your application. But of course I haven't memorized the full thing, so this will not be like a full after 4 years reading it again reaction video. Yeah, but I haven't memorized it, so I'm probably still surprised what bullshit I wrote down. One small thing that is important to know if you are actually thinking about applying to AUC yourself is that the requirements for these letters, the study plan and self-assessment, change every year. So please don't think that if you have now seen this video that you know exactly what you need to do. I actually made another video covering all you need to know about writing your study plan self-assessment, which was tailored to this year, so for when you are applying for 2021 admission. But that one will probably way more closely resemble what you will need to do if you are applying for 2022 or maybe even any later years than what I wrote here. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and comment, because it really helps me a lot and it makes me feel like I'm actually making these videos for an audience of people that enjoy it instead of talking to a camera, which I actually am doing. So let's get started. So yeah, the first thing I'm noticing is that I wrote it in letter form, and I remember getting quite a lot of questions about that from people that were wondering, like, should I write it in letter form? Should I not write it in letter form? And I honestly don't know. I think both is fine. I don't think they will not admit you just on the basis of whether you wrote it in letter form or not, but this is just what I decided to do. Dear Sir, Madam. My name is Jael. I am currently in my 6th year of VWO, which is the Dutch pre-university secondary education for those that don't know. And I would love to study at AUC next year. I am well informed about the contents of the program, and I think I would be a great fit. By means of this personal study plan and self-assessment, I would like to demonstrate this. Personal study plan. So something else that I'm noticing, I wrote this in paragraphs, like just in writing with sentences explaining what study plan I envisioned for myself. And I don't remember what the instructions were when I applied, but I think now they also allow you to do it in like a tabular format. So again, I don't think they will not admit you based on whatever format you choose, but know that you're free to do either version, of course, as long as the study plan you create for yourself fits the requirements of the program. One of the reasons I want to study at AUC is that my interests are very broad, and I think studying at AUC would give me the opportunity to explore all of them. My main interests lie in the information and cognition track, but considering the enormous amount of interesting courses AUC offers within and also outside of these tracks, I definitely struggled with deciding exactly what courses I would like to take if I had to choose now. Fortunately, I was eventually able to come up with an idea for a program for my first 2 years at AUC that I think suits my interests and capabilities really well and would give me a great base of knowledge and skills for different kinds of jobs and master studies in the future, having taken into account the requirements for a master in sciences and a minor in social sciences. So I actually didn't end up doing a full-on minor in social sciences, basically because it limited the choice that I had quite a lot, because then you have to get a certain amount of courses in the social sciences at a certain level, and I just couldn't really fit it in. So even though I still combined sciences and social sciences, I didn't end up actually getting the minor. My interest in the information track comes from the fact that I have taken classes in computer science in my last 3 years of secondary school. There, I discovered that I really liked programming and designing database structures. And this has motivated me to want to deepen my knowledge and improve my skills in these areas and other areas within the field of computer science. Reading articles So yeah, I do notice I have the tendency to make really long sentences. I still sort of do that sometimes, but this definitely is my 3 years ago. And now I can really notice how much I improved because I would not write sentences this long anymore. Reading articles about the influence computers have on our technology-driven society in newspapers, magazines, and online has really inspired me to want to learn more about how computers and computer programs can be used to influence our society in a positive way and how to prevent them from having a negative influence. Yeah. I just find it funny, you know, because I'm usually really Dutch, so sort of this talking up, you know, formulating things like more than they are is just so counterintuitive to me, and I just find it so awkward reading this out. Like, sure, I wouldn't have written it if I didn't believe, you know, if I didn't feel that there was some truth in it, but I definitely was good at playing things up and describing them as, you know, more passionate, but yeah, I guess that's what you do in motivation letters. For these reasons, I would like to take the following courses from the information track in my first 2 years if I came to study at AUC. I would like to take Programming Your World and Advanced Programming because I would like to learn more about various ways to produce and use code and be able to write my own code on an advanced practical level. In addition to these courses, I would like to take Data Structures and Algorithms to gain deeper knowledge and understanding of how programming can be used to create different kinds of solutions for real-world problems. That course actually didn't talk about real-world problems at all. Apart from the information track, I'm also really interested in the cognition track. I have always been fascinated by the fact that people absorb, process, interpret, and communicate information in different ways, and I would love to learn more about these processes and how we could benefit from a deeper understanding of them. For these reasons, I would like to take the following courses from the cognition track. I would like to take psychology because I think a basic understanding of psychology in general can be beneficial within every field of work and would give me a great base of knowledge for the other courses I would like to take within the cognition track. I would also like to take brain and cognition to get more understanding of psychology in relation to the physiology and working of the brain. To meet the prerequisite for this course, I would like to take the Human Body 1, Anatomy and Physiology. I actually didn't take that course in the end, I just went with the course, I was fine. I would also like to take the course Knowledge of Learners and Learning because I think good education could be a solution for many of the problems we are facing in today's society, and I would like to learn more about how education can be optimized considering the working of the brain. Yeah, so that course actually ceased to exist the year I entered, or in my second year, but I never ended up being able to take it because it was cancelled. So yeah, maybe something good to know is you might make a study plan and then find out that some courses are cancelled or overlap. So yeah, take that into account. In addition to these courses, I would like to take Media and Communication from the communication track because I think media has an increasingly influential role in today's society, and I would love to learn more about how media relates to the way people process, perceive, and communicate information. Yeah, I also didn't end up taking that one either. As my theme course, I would like to take Introduction to ICC because I think this course will give me a broader view on how the courses I would like to follow within the information, communication, and cognition tracks are related to each other and how these relations can be used to improve my understanding of all these courses. So that course actually was one of my least favorite courses, and it didn't do any of the things that I hoped it would do. Apart from the academic core courses that are mandatory for everyone, I would like to take calculus and linear algebra to meet the requirements for a science major and to be able to take more advanced maths courses later on. I would like to take Arabic as my foreign language because I've always been fascinated by the Arabic world, and I think knowing Arabic would be a skill that would make me stand out amongst other people, considering the fact that not many people with a Western background study Arabic. Yeah, I took that course and it was absolutely great. I really like it. I don't know how to introduce myself in Arabic now. Ana ismi Jael. I would also like to take Advanced Logic because I would like to get a broader view of the various ways problems can be approached logically, and I think this would improve my understanding of the other courses I want to take, especially the computer science related courses, but also of the world in general. That's also a very weird sentence, but okay. In addition, I would like to take computational thinking because I think understanding how computers and computer programs... Okay, I'm missing a word there. Work, I guess. Because I think understanding how computer and computer programs work can be helpful in solving problems. Whoa, I really fucked this up. Okay. In addition, I would like to take computational thinking because I think understanding how computers and computer programs can be helpful in solving problems. Oh, I get it. Okay. I really write such long and incomprehensible sentences. Like I don't know how people reading this understood what I meant. So that, I mean, it's clear what I mean, but it really doesn't show my advanced English writing skills back in that time. I definitely improved on that department. In addition, I would like to take computational thinking, because I think understanding how computers and computer programs can be helpful in solving problems is essential to be able to think of ways to use computer science to solve some of the problems facing us in today's society. Always coming back to problems in today's society. I just find it funny. Finally, as my big question scores, I would like to take big data, because I think this relatively new field creates lots of opportunities within various fields of work, and I would love to learn how we can make the most of them. Yeah, so that was the way I described my courses. So then we have reached the self-assessment part, building on prior experience. I come from a, in my opinion, pretty average family. My household consists of my mom, my dad, and my little brother, who is 4 years younger than me. My dad has a bachelor's degree and is now working full-time as an engineer. My mom didn't go to university after she completed her pre-university education, but now has her own business as an IT consultant and is doing a part-time higher vocational education study. I think the most important thing I have learned from my parents is to always work hard to get where you want to be. Not just school-wise, but also outside of school. Because of my parents' jobs, I have never had the financial need to have a job outside of school. But my parents have always encouraged me to work for my own money in order to learn about the value of money and develop a healthy work ethic. Since I had the legal age to work, I have always had a job. These jobs have included bulb peeling, restocking shelves in the supermarket, and dishwashing. At the moment, I'm working in the delicatessen section of the local Albert Heijn for about 10 hours a week, which I enjoy a lot. Yeah, so a bit of a backstory on this is I was really worried about not getting in because I didn't have any super cool extracurriculars. Like, I did actually spend, a decent amount of my free time outside of school, like working just average crappy jobs or doing sports, just regular sports, nothing too crazy. So I was really scared that would hamper me. So when I went to the open day, I talked to one of the admissions officers and I was basically saying like, yeah, I just don't feel like I'm special. I'm Dutch. I've lived in the Netherlands all my life. The only thing that I have really done outside of school are a few clubs, a bit of sports, and I worked a bit, and that's it, and I just don't feel special enough to be worthy of being at AUC. And then she said that not being special can also be special, because AUC is a quite particular demographic. So a lot of people that go to AUC have multiple nationalities, are expats, or like professional athletes, whatever. And she said in that sort of pool of applicants that people that don't have this crazy of a background also add to the diversity, so that they also look for those kinds of people. So yeah, that is sort of like how I try to sell myself. I really try to sell that I'm really not that special, but hopefully I'm special because I'm not that special kind of story. And I think that it worked, but just some background on how I decided to go about this. Another thing my parents have brought me is my love for traveling. My parents and I have traveled a lot of countries, mostly inside but also outside of Europe. I love meeting new people, discovering new places, and experiencing new cultures. During the long break after I graduate, I am planning to volunteer at the Adventure Surf Club project in Cape Town, South Africa, to combine my love for traveling with doing my part in trying to make the world a better place. So I actually didn't end up doing that. It was quite expensive, and I also wasn't doing too great mentally after my final exams, so I decided to, I mentioned it, but I don't think that is the thing that got me into the school. So I'm sorry if I maybe lied a bit. No, I didn't lie. I was actually planning to do it, but yeah. Feel free to include plans that you have, even if you're not sure that they will actually happen. I think it does tell you a lot about your intentions. Yeah, just a small note. Ever since I was little, I have loved learning new things, and I have had an easy time processing new information. I have always enjoyed being challenged at school, for example, by doing extra schoolwork. In my first year of secondary school, I was part of a special class called the XL class, where outside of the usual curriculum, I had 2 extra hours of class a week about varying subjects, such as the Spanish language and the artworks of Escher. After my first year, I opted for grammar school to keep challenging myself. But even now, in my 6th year of secondary school, the schoolwork is very easy for me, and I don't have to put a lot of time into getting good grades. For my last 3 years of secondary school, I opted for an NT and G profile, which in the Dutch system is basically like a science profile, because this profile would enable me to pick any bachelor study later on. Because school has always been fairly easy for me, I've had a lot of time to also challenge myself in other fields of interest. For example, I have a big love for sports. I have played basketball for 6 years at a pretty high level, but unfortunately had to stop 2 years ago because the team I played in broke up. I mean, I'm saying pretty high level, but I don't really remember. Was it that high? It wasn't that high of a level. But some of the people that I played with are playing at a high level right now. I don't know. I might have overplayed it a bit. Oops, sorry. Besides playing in the field, I have also sat behind the scorer's table and served as a referee. Last year, I played hockey, where I have also served as a referee besides playing in the field. Currently, I am taking dance classes in modern and ballroom dancing. Apart from sports, I also have a passion for music. I have taken singing lessons and sang in a pop choir for multiple years. Now I still spend a lot of time singing, and I am also learning how to play the guitar, which I never actually managed to do. I'm not a very good guitar playing person. I should stick to singing. Furthermore, I have always been involved in extracurricular activities at school. In the past years, I have written for the school paper, helped with the organization of the Gymnasiumdag, and sang in the school band. This year, I'm in the yearbook committee. I help organize the Christmas benefit dinner for the seniors, and I hope to also be accepted in the senior year committee, whose members are yet to be chosen. So I'm still salty about that, because apparently some people were just asked, and I just never got the email to even try to apply for this, but I mean, yeah. I at least was planning to do it. I've also taken art classes apart from my normal class schedule, but I unfortunately had to quit because it was inconvenient for the teachers involved. So now I just draw in my free time for fun and relaxation. I really have not drawn in such a long time. And I do actually think that it is because I just had no schoolwork telling me to draw, so I just skipped it. Dead. Besides this, I have also followed a special educational program at Leiden University called Laptop, where I attended 6 lectures of 2 hours about the maths behind RSA encryption. Lastly, every year my mother helps to organize a Christmas fair in my hometown. Through my mother's involvement with the organization, I have also taken part in this fundraising fair by coming up with ideas to make the event more fun for younger people, managing the Facebook page, and helping out on the evening itself. Yeah, so that was just some background information about what I have been doing. And I think what is important is showing that you have broad interests, that you care about your community. So I did quite a lot of things at school. I think that is something that is decently important. And of course, I think challenge is also very important. Showing that you like to be challenged and also showing that you have challenged yourself in certain ways. I think those are the 3 things that reading this now I think are important for you to include if you are writing your own study plan and self-assessment. Knowing your strong points. I think my strongest point is that I am someone with an open attitude towards others. I make contact with people easily, and I am always open to hear about people's stories, views, and ideas, which enables me to learn from other people. The fact that I am open-minded helps with this too, because it also makes me open to people that are way different than me, who, in my experience, are the most interesting to talk to as they broaden my horizon by supplying me with entirely new perspectives. I'm also a self-critical and self-reflective person, which makes it I am able to look back on my own experiences and learn from them. I think another one of my strong points is that I am a critical thinker. I do not immediately believe everything I read, hear, or see. This motivates me to always think further about things and look for more information to get a deeper understanding of the world around me. I am also a person that can put things into different perspectives and can see past the near future. Academically, I think my strongest point is my discipline. Even if I sometimes felt like doing something else, I have always been able to motivate myself to do my schoolwork to the best of my ability. I'm also great at realistic time management, which enables me to never be late and always meet my deadlines. I find it funny because I would actually say that my discipline is also sort of a weakness, because sometimes I get so caught up in what I think I have to do that I stop taking care of myself, which is not healthy. Don't do that. Addressing your weaknesses. I think one of my biggest weaknesses is that I am a perfectionist. Yeah, please never say this in a motivation letter. I really don't know what I was thinking. This makes that I am quickly disappointed because I set the bar so high for myself. Fortunately, these disappointments do motivate me to keep working hard and try again next time, instead of making me feel like giving up. Because I set the bar so high for myself, I also tend to sometimes question my academic abilities and stress myself out for nothing. Yeah, so I think what is good about this is that I did sort of focus more on the consequences. So yeah, my weak side is that I am a perfectionist is like so obviously a weak point that is also sort of a strong point. But I think the way that I described how it actually influences my life is something that is good. It does make it a lot less bad. But I would definitely, if you sort of relate and you're also a perfectionist, and if you do actually feel like that is one of your weaknesses, then don't say I'm a perfectionist. Skip that step. Like really just skip that whole sentence and start writing more about how it's actually affect your life. So I could have easily started with, I am quickly disappointed because I set bars very high for myself. That is, I think, a perfectly fine weakness to put in a motivation letter if that is something that's required for you. But yeah, just skip the I am a perfectionist. We've heard that a million times before, and that's just not saying anything. It's a weakness that's not actually a weakness in itself, and that's just not really what they're looking for, I guess. But I still got in, so even if you did write this down and now you're like, oh god, what did I do? Don't worry. Another weak point of me is that I can sometimes be too honest and express my thoughts before thinking about how to put them. This can sometimes make me come across as if I haven't carefully thought my opinion through, even though I did critically think about my arguments, sharing value. I am a person that always gives 100% in everything that I do. I aim high with my goals and I like to work hard to achieve them. In general, I bring this into practice by, for example, never missing a dance practice and also practicing at home. Academically, I bring this into practice by always doing all my required schoolwork and more if I feel like I need to get to the level of understanding I want to get. I am planning to continue to do so if I came to study at AUC. I am also a person that is always prepared to help other people because I enjoy seeing others accomplish their goals. If people have problems with their schoolwork, I try to help them by explaining things to them. If people have problems with their personal life, I try to help them by providing comfort and giving advice. I will continue to do so if I came to study at AUC. So yeah, this is literally speaking not really the best, the most beautiful thing. Like the repetition, I wouldn't recommend putting that in. But I think what is good about this part is that I exemplified everything that I said. I really think that one of the most important things when writing motivation letters, and now I have written like, I think at least a dozen more, is to exemplify everything you say and sometimes also let situations and examples sort of speak for themselves. I think the trick to really good motivation letters is definitely show, don't tell, and if you tell, then also show. Furthermore, I'm a person that respects every individual, irrespectively of class, race, gender identity, sexuality, and religion. As I have already mentioned above, I think my open-mindedness is one of my strongest points, because I think a lot can be learned from other people, especially those with perspectives that differ a lot from my own. I think engagement with other individuals is really important for self-development, not just personally, but also academically, because I think discussing issues with others teaches you to look at problems from different perspectives. That's a lot of perspectives. If I came to study at AUC, I would try to engage in all sorts of activities with my peers, from something casual as getting to know people better by engaging in small talk, to joining clubs to reach out to the rest of the world together in order to develop myself in these aspects. To reach out to the rest of the world together. Nice and dramatic. I hope studying at AUC will enrich me academically by providing me with the information and skills needed to function at a high level in the professional world. Moreover, I hope studying at AUC will teach me how to work with other people in a way where we reinforce each other's strengths. Yeah, so for this part, I definitely would recommend just looking at the website and just trying to hook onto anything that's on the website that you feel you personally relate to and that you can exemplify and everything. You know, I think it's just important for them to know that you sort of know what you signed up for. Then meeting requirements. I am glad to say that I'm not expecting to end up with any deficiencies for the English and maths requirements. I am taking Mathematics B, which is the appropriate level of maths for a science major, and I am expecting to end up with a rounded grade of 9 for English and a rounded grade of 9 or 10 for maths. So yeah, I did apply with pretty good grades, especially for the courses that were most important in the application process, so English or maths. So I'm actually I'm always curious whether I would have gotten in if I didn't have those grades. I mean, I guess I'll never know. But yeah, definitely also if you have really good grades and not that many other things that are like super spectacular, don't be scared to like highlight that. And especially in this meeting requirements part, you know, if you meet the requirements, then say you meet the requirements and say it clearly. And then just the ending. I hope this personal study plan and self-assessment has made clear my willingness to participate in this program and my understanding of the AUC curriculum. Hopefully, I have given you some insight in who I am as a person and why I would be an excellent candidate for the Amsterdam University College. Yours sincerely, Jael. So yeah, that was it. It's actually not as bad. I expected it to be worse, especially because English is not my first language, and when I wrote this I really wasn't speaking English on a daily basis. I mean, some sentences do flow quite weirdly. In terms of writing style, it's really not that great, and I really feel like I'm happy reading this because I really feel like I have actually improved a lot in that respect. But yeah, I think content-wise I did pretty good. I think if you need to write your own study plan, self-assessment, I think it's quite a good example of sort of kinds of decisions that you can make and ways that you can present some things. Of course, don't plagiarize. It's really, really important to not plagiarize your motivation letters, because I think it's also, it's not only a selection selection for the university, but it's also for you, if that makes sense. So I guess that it sometimes can feel like universities are just picking out who they want, and if they are not picking you, then they don't want you. But I have talked to quite a lot of the admissions officers at AUC when I was in the student council, and it's not really how it works. Like, they're also trying to see whether they are a good match for you. So don't be afraid to really be yourself and do your own thing and make your own choices in these motivation letters, because it's not only about, you know, rejecting you because you're not good enough, but it can also just be because they don't feel like they're the right fit for you and something else might be a way better fit for you. And if you write something just based on what you think they want you to write, you sort of miss that opportunity for selection, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was my application letter. I see that I have been recording for half an hour, so I really hope that this video will not turn out to be too long. So yeah, right as I was talking about how long this video was becoming, my camera decided to stop filming because my card was full. Yay! So I don't really remember what I said before, but yeah, this was the video. I really hope that it was helpful. If you would like me to make any more AUC related videos, then please let me know in the comment what kind of videos you would like to see then, or if there are any other non-AUC related videos that you would like to see, also let me know. If you enjoyed this and you would like to see more videos of me, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!